All right, Average Joe back with another video. We just picked up this SUV and we're going to put the side steps on it, or running boards, and they come in this box here. So I'm going to go through the process of opening it and then putting them on here on both sides. All right, here's what came with it. Just a little parts bag. Not surprisingly, 0 instructions, so I'll look that up online. I know I saw some before I bought them on how to put it on, but we'll kind of come back through each little step. Just to show you what it looks like outside of the little bag they came in. Just slid those bags off. Now we'll start taking apart this little part here and put that on. All right, so I've laid down some stuff just to protect us here, but there's 7 10mm screws. I don't know if you can see that right there. Okay, there's 7 of them along here. You need to remove those. That's the first step. And then you remove these little screws here. And then there's 2 on the back side, on the other side, down here, that need to come off. Back here, 1, and there's the other one right there. Okay, so it's kind of dark, but there's 1 there, and there's 1 right there. Okay, so we'll do that and come back to the next step. Just real quick, I want to show you guys, these are like little clips, right? So you want to move this little middle part out first. Don't try to take the whole thing off, okay? Take the little part middle out and then pull the whole thing out, okay? Just so you don't break anything, just like I just did like that. But we'll fix it. All right, so the next step is to pull this guy off after opening kind of both the doors. Just kind of gently pull this off, and then there's going to be 14 10mm nuts to remove after that. All right, so I popped it off. That's what came off, the old piece. Right, let's see, it's just that old metal trim. And so what we have left here is this, and there's some supports. You can see those screws, there's 14 of them. We need to take those off, I guess on both sides. All right, so there's only 7 on each side, so there's instructions I was referring to said 14, so that means 14 total. So here's what you have taken off. This is the old little just board that was there, just like the one we have still on right there, right? So that's what we have, and that's a little support bracket. Now, we're gonna come over here and put on our new support bracket, and then the running board itself. And so this is what we have. So this comes apart in 2 pieces. We're gonna put, let me turn this off so you can hear. Comes apart in 2 pieces, 1 support, and then the running board itself. So we'll go ahead and put the support on there. Real quick, these just pull right apart. That's what I did. I have one in here, but you can get in here and pull these apart, and that's what you'll be left with. Here's our support right here, this long guy. Okay, I'm gonna put that on, then we'll put the actual running board part. So before we put the support on, this is what you're left with. Here, it's just an open spot. You can see those little posts where the where it connects it to, and here's the thread on that one, and there's some other threads on the other one. So we're gonna go ahead and align these and put those up, and we'll show you that next step. So when you get these, it doesn't necessarily tell you right or left side, passenger or driver's side, but how you can tell is that the side you need to put on has this little notch right here, okay? And it's gonna go into that notch there, okay? Once you get that in place, then you can start putting your nuts back on. So after a bit of frustration trying to get these original ones that we took off back onto these, which I just couldn't get it to really adhere that well. I looked in the parts bag, and these come with it. So these go on much easier for some reason, and that's what we're going to use. So I would advise you, if you're having trouble with these, look in the part bag, and if you got these will work. All right, so that support's on, and as I suggested, you want to put the ones that the parts came with, the little nuts that the parts came with, because you can put them on all the little studs that are there. When you take off the original bracket, there's only 7, but when you put it back on, I think there's 10. And so you can make sure that it's adhered as close as it's going to be. So now for the next step, we're gonna pop this guy on here and see how it looks. Okay, now with both doors open, you can put this on. Now this is not adhered yet or fixed, so underneath you'll see, if we can see, there's little grooves. It's really hard to see here, I'm sorry, but there's just little grooves underneath. You'll see how they line up with each other. So pop all those in, and then put these end pieces part back on, these little pieces we had on here, back on, and you're all set. Okay, halfway through. We got one on. And just to show you the difference on the other side, this is a GL450. No step bar. I did notice though, when you get it in and out of the car, you're likely to hit it with your foot because you're not used to it being there. But so far so good. One thing I'll point out I thought was very frustrating is that this is the little gap on it, and they provide you with this little piece here to fill in the gap. It doesn't work worth a crap, man. I'm sorry, but I tried to put it on, this little thing broke off. And so that one doesn't have one on that side, but we'll see if we can do better on the second one. It's not really noticeable until you open the back door, and if you're just looking down at it anyway, you can't really tell. I mean, it's right, it's just like right in there between those. You can see the little gap right there, so hardly noticeable. But yeah, I mean, put my foot on it. Pretty good. You know, like I said, you'll notice it when you get in and out of the car though, that's for sure. All right, okay, both sides are on. And relatively easy to do the second one, but like I said before, the little piece that goes in that little gap right there, that's next to impossible to put on. I mean, I just don't see a way that you can put that on there. Maybe it's just, I don't know, I've never done it before and I'm not doing it right, but, and so you can see it kind of bows out a little bit there. I wish there was some sort of clamp to hold this in place a little bit closer, but you know, unless you installed it, you're not gonna notice it as a passerby or anything like that. So otherwise, it looks pretty good. There you go. Running boards, you can see just a little bit of a bow right here. You know, if someone knows and can comment below on how to make that snap in there and stay, that'd be greatly appreciated. I just don't see how it's done. But otherwise, there you have it.